Atkins Kroll, Glorified City Limit, McDonald's, Mobile, Triple J, NM Tech, and Bank of Guam.
Properties in the Tropics is your weekly roundup of the hottest properties on Guam. Every Thursday, get a virtual walkthrough of homes, apartments, townhomes, and land available for lease, rent, or sale with a breakdown of the most important info, including cost, features, and of course, location details. Watch it on KUAM News Hotspot at noon on streaming and TV8 or catch the encore at 5 p.m. on TV11. You can also check out each installment on Instagram too. Properties in the Tropics is presented by Remax Diamond Realty. Meet the young men and women from high schools in Guam and the CNMI at the head of the class on KM News Weekend Edition and Digital. We're showcasing the brilliant valedictorians and salutatorians of the class of 2022. Learn about their awards, accolades, and future ambitions. Watch Head of the Class of 2022 throughout the months of June and July. Congratulations, graduates, presented by the University of Guam.
Subscribe to our KOAM News Digest, our weekly email newsletter with all kinds of information straight to your inbox. Just subscribe and we'll make sure to keep you informed and entertained with news from the KOAM News team, what to watch on NBC and CBS, and the latest promotions from KOAM Communications. Go to KOAM.com, click on the newsletter tab at the top of the homepage, register, and you're all set. Brought to you by Uno Go, Guam on Demand.
All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. Some exciting news from the Guam Visitors Bureau now, as yesterday we got word that the first familiarization trade tour, or the FAM tour, I don't know if it involves family, but the FAM tour, but we have family members coming over from Japan, a contingent. It's the first time a group from Japan will be visiting since 2019. It's set to take place next week. Joining me now to explain the importance of such an event is the Japanese marketing manager for the Guam Visitors Bureau, who you probably saw on the live feed, literally just sat down a few moments ago. Regina Nedley, our second Regina. We've had two Reginas on the show, so wow. Half a day. Good to see you.
Half a day, Jason. Thank you. Thank you for having me today.
Okay,
yes.
I'm sure the pace of rushing you in and out of the studio is no. You're used to that by now, because you guys have been rushing with your strategies and trying to come up with pandemic and get used to things and everything. But now we have concrete proof that for the first time there's a trade familiarization tour coming to Guam. So congratulations, first of all.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been long awaited. Our Japan market, as you know, Korea has been doing fantastic right now with our flights resuming. And now in support of all the work that we've been doing, so because of the pandemic and the beginning of the fiscal year, we were working a lot with marketing Guam, branding Guam, which you saw a lot of our influencers coming out, our TikTokers coming out and showing and retweeting and, putting all those lives. But now we're bringing in our travel trade fam. So our travel trade is the meat of our business between the airlines and the travel agents and the online travel agencies, because right now that we're trying to resume business, Japan right now is still, we're not quite there yet with us being able to go in. I mean, there are some gradual changes happening, but our interest is to bring our Japanese to Guam. So with that, having to do that, our travel trade partners would come out, and they haven't been on Guam since about 2.5 years.
There is that logo. That's beautiful, by the way.
Yes, yes.
Who designed that? That's some really good graphic arts.
Our GVB Japan team, of course, we wanted to signify the importance of 55 years of relationship between Guam and Japan.
And I must say, Regina, because you and I are roughly the same age, and when we were growing up here on the island, Japan was always known as was the big tourist market.
Yes.
And, we had such a positive relationship, as you said, such a lucrative relationship.
Yes.
But as you said, whereas we got a lot of social media influencers coming over from the Korean market, with this one, the group that's coming over is a lot more industrial, and these people are going to go back and develop strategies as you have.
So now that businesses like United Airlines has increased their flights, JAL is expected to come out in August, and T-Way and Jeju are the LCCs that used to bring in Japanese visitors as well, are expected to all resume at least by August and September. We're ramping up our trade activities. So as part of our Go Go Guam campaign, and our Go Go Guam campaign, we have approximately 36 members, GVB members, that are providing discounts for visitors. It's more for Japanese, but if you ask the businesses about the Go-Go campaign, I'm sure they will easily avail it to you. So this
Look at how beautiful that looks. Why would you not want to visit Guam? We get the best. I tell people all the time, Regina, we have the most beautiful sunsets
Absolutely.
in the world. I will put that against anybody.
Absolutely, yes. We love the sunset. So what we want our trade fam to experience is coming to Guam and seeing how we are, seeing how safe we are, and how we are really being cautious about our movement on the island, but that you can still create those packages to come to Guam. You work together with our local companies to improve the product of selling Guam in Japan. So a lot of travel agents, online travel agencies, wholesalers, and we have some media also coming out to do some stories on Guam. So we're really excited about this whole fam tour coming up.
And you've been with the agency for quite a long time now. So you've
25 years.
With the exception of the pandemic, I would say pretty much you've seen it all, right?
Pretty much.
But it was interesting with this, you know, I mean, Guam's hospitality is known the world over. Like I said, our sunsets speak for themselves. The island hospitality, the Hafaday spirit, you know, the familial spirit, obviously the surroundings, the condition. But for you and your staff, this was a completely different way, and having to almost like, would you call it resell Guam to the rest of the world and the markets to not only emphasize, you know, the wonderful things, both natural and man-made, but now also like, we're safe.
Yes.
All of our businesses here are doing what we have to do to make sure that you have a wonderful time, but that, you know, you're not going to get sick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how was that like, kind of like reintroducing the Guam product?
It was new, right? It was different, right? Because like you said, Japan market has been, because of our proximity, our relationship, in knowing Guam is just 3.5 hours away, and all the connections that we've had in the past. Like we used to have more than a dozen direct flights, right? From Guam to Japan, and so
every single day they're like, oh, when you're leaving 12:30, oh, you're going to Nagoya.
So you know, having to shift it to marketing and creating the demand for Guam, which is why we really focused on digital marketing. So we focused that on the first 2 quarters of this fiscal year, moving it in now to trade, because we needed to make sure that timing, especially in Japan, we had to also respect that the level of their regulations, right? Travel regulations were gradual. So we kind of had to take that step. And so now we're really ramping up, because now our airlines are resuming their flights. They're already advising us they're coming back. And so this is a part of our support for not only our Guam businesses, but also our travel trade partners in Japan to get our business going and get the word about Guam and sell Guam in any way they can.
Is it fair to say that, you know, because of the pandemic and the fact that, like, you know, the visitor industry worldwide in all markets was absolutely decimated, the competitive playing field has now been leveled, and so as different markets reopen, like Guam has, now there is, you know, Singapore is offering travel packages, Thailand is offering travel packages, you know, the various places in Australia, Hawaii, and everything like that. So we're also competing on a way that we never have before.
Yes, we are, and they're really focusing on generating demand, right? Marketing the product, the island, right? You have to share with the world how Guam is doing first before you can actually sell the product to them. So that's really how it was in the beginning. We wanted to show how we've progressed, right, throughout having to keep the island safe with all of the regulations of COVID and living through COVID right now, right? So a lot of the competitors right now are really marketing their destination, marketing food promotions, activities, right? You know, they have to kind of change it up. And then even now with digital marketing, you can see a lot of digital marketing happening everywhere. And
let's talk about that for a second, Regina, because, like, you know,
oh boy,
I remember, you know, the wonderful marketing campaign. I'm a marketing major, and I remember how effective the campaign was. Welcome all visitors enthusiastically.
Yes,
remember everybody show the way. Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, see, in the 1990s. Okay.
In the theaters, right?
Yeah. So, so what can we, you know, for people that don't work directly in hospitality and tourism, what can I do as someone who's on social media all the time if I want to jump on a particular trend or a hashtag so that I can help get that out over the internet to not only attract visitors to consider Guam as a destination, but also to instill in them confidence that when they come here, they're going to get great value, they're going to have a great time, and they're not going to get sick. So what can I do as someone on the outside?
Well, I think it's important, like you said, right? So if it's on social media, right, these hashtags are wonderful, okay? The hashtags, actually using hashtags, we record, right? Like how many people hashtag like Here We Guam. So,
oh, my coworker Tomas Mangon loves hashtags. He uses them all the time.
so, you know, on social media, and then tagging the stories and, you know, sharing the stories, but just even Guam in itself is the product, right? Our hospitality, our friendliness, the things we do on Guam, that's what our Asian visitors, our visitors from Asia all over the globe, they look at Guam and they see how unique it is on Guam. Like, you can do all of these things in Hawaii, you can do it in Thailand, or you can do it in Okinawa, but here on Guam, you have the Chamorro hospitality, certain things you do. People are extremely friendly on Guam, you know, and I've learned this having to travel different destinations around the world to really realize that Guam is very much unique. Our Chamorro hospitality is one of a kind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's one thing to have a wonderful plate of chicken kelaguen. It's another thing to have the person who actually prepared it and then invites you into their home and says, you know, you are like family to me. Please come in. We're gonna have a wonderful conversation.
Absolutely.
You know, and you're really gonna want to take a nap afterwards because we're gonna feed you really well. Okay, so this is the first of many interviews we plan to do with you and your staff over there, because as we open up tourism again, we want here at KOM, we want to be part of that conversation, and we want to do all we can.
Thank you so much. And I really appreciate KOM helping us get the message out.
Okay,
so.
and it's great to have you yourself. Okay, Josh Tekenko, everybody, by the way, is behind the camera. Josh, give us a little wave.
Josh set me up. He's supposed to be in this interview with me.
There he is. Okay, video bomb as always. So do that on social media too. Okay, everybody, we will be right back. We're causing chaos here on the show, but we will be right back with more show right after this.
Thank you.
Northern Marianas, rise up to the challenge! June 17th through June 25th, the Northern Marianas will be hosting the NM Pacific Mini Games 2022. Athletics, badminton, baseball, beach volleyball, golf, tennis, triathlon, ba'a, and weightlifting. Visit northernmarianas2022.com and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Thanks to the Tensu Lim Foundation, Joe Tendai Foundation, T Galleria, Docomo Pacific, ITNE, NMC, Elan Group, Marpac, Fish Guy Scuba Charter, Atkins Kroll, Glorified City Limit, McDonald's, Mobile, Triple J, NM Tech, and Bank of Guam.
Say hello to the first Hawaiian Bank mobile app. Want a better look at your spending? With Money Map, you can automatically create budgets and manage where your money is going. Know when you have a green light, or when it's time to slow down. Maybe cook more meals at home this week. Set your goals, track your progress, and find your way to exactly where you want to be. With Money Map from the first Hawaiian Bank mobile app. It all starts with yes.
Properties in the Tropics is your weekly roundup of the hottest properties on Guam. Every Thursday, get a virtual walkthrough of homes, apartments, townhomes, and land available for lease, rent, or sale, with a breakdown of the most important info, including cost, features, and of course, location details. Watch it on KUAM News Hotspot at noon on streaming and TV8, or catch the encore at 5